what type of advice has your organization had for lawyers on navigating these problems over the last few years? Obviously, the past couple of years have been especially challenging. But what does your organization sort of, how do you combat lawyers not wanting to reach out for help, and what advice would you give them if they are ready to receive help?
So the Institute for Wellbeing and Law was formed in we started operating in 2021, and this followed the National Task Force on Lawyer Wellbeing's report that was published in 2017. And so our organization, IWIL, we're known as IWIL, Institute for Wellbeing and Law. We take a comprehensive approach to the well-being of the entire legal profession, including judges, including law students, and including, of course, lawyers and judges. So a comprehensive approach, what does that mean? It means that the first thing we are interested in is educating people on well-being, because a lot of people still don't know about well-being. They haven't had that kind of programming or introduction to it, and they haven't necessarily learned how important well-being is to their performance. So we've talked about some of the challenges that lawyers face, right? That maybe undermine well-being, but if you flip it around, your well-being goes hand in hand with being a really good lawyer. In other words, your performance is inextricably linked with how well you are being. And so if you flip it around, I think it's more of an empowering idea than a disempowering idea. So one way to look at well-being is, look at all these challenges we face, and let's fix ourselves somehow with our mental health or chemical dependency challenges. And that's important. But the flip side of it is that if you are well and thriving, that's going to be an important implication for everything you do as a lawyer, because when you're thriving, you're creative, you're innovative, you can make your best work, and you can really contribute to your clients in a way that makes the difference for your clients. So I think of it as well-being is key to performance in whatever field you're talking about, whether it's athletics, music, being a lawyer, anything. Your well-being, if you're thriving, that means that you're going to be performing at your peak. And so how can you manage yourself? And that's really what IWIL is about. It's not just providing information about the challenges we may face, but also educating people so they can really perform to the best of their ability and serve their clients in an exceptional manner. The goal of Institute for Wellbeing and Law is to create a cultural shift in the profession. What does that mean? Cultural shift. It means that we value well-being as part of lawyer performance. And that means we want to work in environments, law firms, in the public sector, for government agencies, wherever we may work, we want to work in environments that value well-being, because organizations that value well-being and create an environment where employees can thrive, that means they're going to be doing the lawyer's work or the judge's work in a way that really maximizes the individual lawyer or judge's potential. So how do we create a cultural shift in the legal profession so that we think of well-being as key to performance rather than well-being as nice to have, right? Like a sideshow. Like it's great if you get it, but not critical. We don't agree with that. We think that well-being is critical. And so the first thing is to educate people about it. IWIL also conducts its own research and partners with other people and organizations to conduct research on what works. So what kind of programming or environmental factors or what can lawyers do for themselves that actually works to promote well-being? And that's another piece of our work. So I think it's education to reduce the stigma. And then the other piece of it is, cutting edge research to really propel ourselves as a profession forward to identify those things that we can do for ourselves and others that makes the difference.